All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Sweat Club. I am really happy you are here making time for yourself. Not always easy, right? So today we are going to start in the only way that I feel like is fitting to start today, which is in Shavasana. So please lay down flat on your back, get comfy. Maybe you even have like a blanket you want to pull up on you that you've got somewhere in the house. Get cozy. Yeah, I love seeing you guys prop up and get comfortable. It looks so nice. All right, then let's take one hand to the heart, maybe your left hand, and your right hand to your low belly. Just allow yourself to feel nice and grounded down in the mat. And this is really the beginning of our ritual, right? Yoga is a ritual. We come to the mat. We often end the exact same way in Shavasana. We move, we breathe, and then we go on with our day. But the purpose of today's class is to highlight the importance of ritual. And if ritual is kind of like a weird word for you, you can also put in habit. Ritual and habit can be the same thing. These habits or these rituals are the things that ground us when life feels unstable. Predictability is comforting, and especially when the ritual is surrounded by movement and yoga and breath in this scenario, right? Not only is the ritual comforting, but you're releasing endorphins. You're settling your nervous system. And so that is where we will start, just with this settling in. So start to scan from the crown of your head, the top of your head. And release all tension, maybe in the back of the head, down towards your ears, the space between your eyes. And then once you get to your jaw, take a big breath in. Open mouth exhale, let it go. And feel your body get heavier on the mat. Make sure your jaw is fully relaxed before you move down to the base of your neck and your shoulders. And then check in with that space over your heart, where your hand is. You might feel just fine. Maybe your chest feels relaxed. Maybe it's a little fluttering because you're not sure where class is going to go. Or maybe there's something a little deeper. Try to send warmth through your hand into your heart center. And allow that to just relax and melt down to the ground. Next, move from the heart center, now that your upper body is feeling relaxed, and let's take it down through the abdomen towards the hips. Maybe you even move your hips side to side a little bit to find that surrender. Next, let's take it down the legs to the thighs, the calves, and eventually all the way to your toes. Let your toes fall out to the side and feel heavy. Now that you have this awareness in your body, I would like you to focus on 3 things you can feel with your body right now. Could be your mat underneath you. And focus on where you're feeling them. Now let's bring that awareness right into the ears. What are 3 things that you can hear in your space around you? And now, even though your eyes are closed, what are 3 things that you can see? Can you see colors? Is there a texture to the light behind your eyes? Take a deep breath in. Exhale slowly out the nose. If you know Ujjayi breath, you can start to constrict the back of your throat slightly, making a sound like an ocean wave. And now we'll move into prana. Take a big breath in. Maybe you start to count to either a 4, 5, or 6 count. And then a slow, identical exhale of the same count. You will take 5 rounds. After you've taken 5 rounds, and only you can know how long that takes you, there's no rush. Remember, we're moving into our ritual nice and slow and easy today. You can draw one knee towards the chest and the other, and wrap yourself into a little bit of a hug. And once you're there, what does your body want? Stillness? Movement? Continue that breathing pattern once the knees are into the chest. And then start to do some ankle rolls. So you'll roll both ankles out. Maybe you can do that really fancy trick that I like to do where my ankles crack. Take them in one direction and then the other direction. All right. Let the ankles relax. Just let the feet relax. Pull the knees into the chest a little bit more. Give yourself a hug and a squeeze in. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, option 1, push yourself up to a seat. Option 2, my fave, is you're going to rock and roll in the spine. At least, let's say 5 times to give yourself just a little bit of play, a little bit of movement. And then once you've taken 5, bring the feet down to the ground, stretch the legs out in front of you, maybe just a little bit, and you're going to make it to tabletop pose without using your hands. So we've been working on this a ton, and maybe you're going to try something new today. Maybe you have a new way to move into tabletop. See what you can find. Remember to laugh once you're getting there. And then wrists under shoulders, knees under hips in tabletop pose. Now, find that even alignment of the spine. So no dip in the back, no dropping of the belly, just one even vertebra. Take a breath in. One even spine, I should say. And then exhale, hold here. Now, without changing the shape of your spine, pull your hands towards your knees and your knees towards your hands. So spine doesn't change, but we have this engagement in the core, right? The low belly, you should feel it in the sides of your belly. Now maintain this pull of the knees and hands towards one another. And as you inhale, drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, cow pose. It should feel pretty challenging. And as you exhale, tuck your chin, pull down and in. This one, it might feel more natural as you pull. For me, I start to shake almost automatically. Inhale again, keep pulling, hands towards knees, look forward, cow. And exhale, tuck and round. Now a fun variation. Inhale, come forward, cow pose, push your hands and knees away from one another. Feels kind of nice, right? This one more intuitively should go away. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin, pull the hands and knees towards one another. Again, belly drops. This time, hands and knees push away. Look forward. Exhale, tuck, round, and pull. All right, inhale, back to center, relax your core. Maybe just wiggle side to side to make sure the core is actually relaxed. Walk your one handprint forward, curl your toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. So funny, just that one little movement already made me sweaty. Once you find your down dog, movement, stillness, again, what is your body asking for? And notice, what habits do you have? What ritual do you have in down dog? It's likely that if you're like me, I kind of tend to do the same thing every time. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I like to do with my feet. Maybe you try something different, move in a different way, wiggle the heels side to side. And then sink the heels down to the ground. Inhale, look forward. Bend in your knees, and then tiptoe one toe at a time to the top of the mat until you eventually fold into Uttanasana. Head is nice and heavy. And let's lift up halfway, wiggle the feet hip width distance apart, and then grab for opposite elbows, take ragdoll and sway side to side. I encourage you to try swaying to the left and bend really deeply into your left knee as you straighten your right leg. And then when you're ready, you can swing over to the right, bend deeply into the right knee, straighten the left. Think about side bending here. Can you feel those muscles in the sides of your back start to stretch? All right, back to center. Release the hands down to the ground. Toe heel the feet together. Toes touch, sliver of space between the heels. And then inhale, lift up halfway. Reminder, we're lifting with the strength of the low back to get you up. And then exhale down and fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Once more, lift up halfway. Squeeze. And then exhale, melt on down. Now, separate your feet again. I know the feet are a little crazy today, but we need them to be crazy. So bring them back to hip width distance apart. Take a little bend in your knees. Let your head drop. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Push your feet away from each other and then roll up really slowly all the way to standing. How slow can you go? Remember to keep pushing the feet away from each other to engage the outside of the legs. If you have any issues with the low back, come up with a flat back. Almost there. You guys were pretty fast. Great. New body, coming to standing at the top of the mat. Often in yoga, especially a vinyasa class, we start with a sun A, which we will do right now. Another ritual, right? Another thing that allows us to feel familiar, to feel comforted. So inhale, sweep your hands up and look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, your half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step one foot back, step the other foot back, either plank or tabletop pose. We're going to lower down to the ground, slow, 4, 3, elbows back, 2, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the scapula, 1, to your belly. Inhale. This time, bring the fingers out to the side, palms aren't on the ground, and we're going to tent and lift ourselves up into a wide-armed kind of cobra variation because it feels good and I'm into it lately. Yeah. Exhale, allow yourself to lower down. We'll do this 3 times. Inhale, lift up, head comes up last. Exhale, chest will lower. Once more. Come on up, lift, maybe get a little bit higher this time. And then exhale, lower yourself down to the mat. Hands come by your sides. Curl your toes under. Team, you know what to do. Either push up to tabletop or lift the knees up if you're feeling fiery already. And you can try plank and then make it back to downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Bend the knees and walk slow, little by little, top of the mat until you're in Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push your feet away from each other. Can you roll up again? Nice and easy, taking your time. Hands are dangling down towards the ground. Squeeze, pull the core in. Squeeze the glutes at the top till shoulders are back. Hands by your sides, Siddhasana. Fantastic work. So that was our nice little sun A. Now, I love ritual. I also like to add on to ritual. So we are going to inhale, sweep your hands up high. And then you're going to take not a steeple grip, I'll show quick. Grab for your wrist with your left hand. So right wrist, left hand grabs, and then you bend over to that left side. The reason I like this kind of wrap of the fingers around the wrist is because it allows us to reach first, right? And then bend. Now, push your right hip over as far as you can get it. So once you're in the bend, think about pushing the right hip over. Squeeze into the side body. So you're bringing your left ribs to your left hip. Then if you notice one shoulder's drooping forward, roll that right shoulder back. Typically, that's the one that likes to droop and cheat a little bit. How straight can you get your arms as you lean and hold? Last but not least, team, we have to breathe, right? 3, 2, push into your feet to ensure you're still extending. And 1, inhale, come up. As you exhale, just do opposite grip of the wrist. So switch it out and then stretch the arms up. So first lengthen as you take a breath in. How tall can you grow? Exhale over to the right side. So I kind of like to do this in a few parts, right? I start fairly high and then I'm like, okay, here's the time where we bump left hip over. So can you push your left hip as far as you can? Then think about moving your right hip towards your right rib, crunching through the side body. Awesome. I see the little changes everybody's making. Now roll your left shoulder back and then straighten the arms as much as you can. Last but not least, even though we're side bending, push your feet into the ground. And what does that mean? Normally when I say push the feet into the ground, it means you're just going to squeeze all the muscles in your legs, your glutes to try to create force. Hold there. 3, 2. Awesome work. 1, inhale, come up. Exhale, hands by your sides, Tadasana. Ooh, we have shoulders now. How fun are those, right? Now we'll move on with our sun A. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you'll plant your hands, step, and then you know the drill. Slow and steady down to the mat. Knees up or knees down, take your time. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk the fingertips out to the side. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let you. What kind of back bend do you want to do today? What does your ritual ask for? If you like this version, you can come with me. You're also welcome to do anything else. Take a breath in as you push the tops of the feet into the mat. And then exhale, we'll all lower down together. Hands come by your sides, curl the toes under. Maybe lift the knees if you're pushing to plank. Pull the belly in no matter what you do. Push up to either plank or tabletop. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, plank pose. I know, what? We were just here. So rude of me. Don't worry, we're only going to be here for a second. Lower your knees down to the mat. Walk your hands backwards. And then you are going to come to a seat on your butt without using your hands. So I'm going to try and find a really weird way. Yep, perfect. And then wiggle myself back on the mat over here. Great. Now, take your right hand to the top of your right shin. We're moving to 90-90 with your right leg forward. So if you've done this before, it might take a little time to set up. If not, no big deal. So right shin, top of the mat. Left shin will be parallel with the side of the mat. Your option is to just also lean over. You can lean if it feels very uncomfortable. You might go and work in this space, or you might come up here if you feel like you can sit a little bit taller. Yes, in case you haven't noticed, my ritual is that we do mobility work every class. I'm sure you guys were like, when are we going to do mobility, Madison? Right now. Now is the time. And I have some new tricks for you today, so I'm sure you're really, really excited. Okay. In this pose, you're either to the side, take your left hand and bring it to that space in between your two legs. So it's going to be on the mat in the space. You should feel firm and supported. If that doesn't work, you could also be over here. Now, push your right knee down into the mat. Push your right ankle and flex your foot and push it down into the ground. Shift your right hip backwards and push as you lean forwards. Nice, right? So we're kind of facilitating a stretch. If you don't feel a stretch, don't worry. Don't be concerned, I promise. There's plenty more coming for you. So once you've got that push, hold. 3, 2, keep your hands where they are. Now 1, you are going to try to lift your knee and your ankle up to the ceiling. It'll look like this. Awful. Try and do it. If the leg doesn't move, that's fine. We're going to laugh about it, but you're going to try because trying is all that matters. 3, 2, and 1, push your knee down into the ground again. 2 opposing actions, right? As a reminder, you could totally be here doing it. You could be here if you want an added challenge. You might be back here if you want it to be a little bit easier. If you can lift your leg up like a foot, that's too easy. Keep pushing down. Don't forget, push knee down, ankle down. Nice and firm. Hold. 3. How hard can you push down? 2. All right, ready? 1, power up. And as you inhale, try to lift the leg up off the ground. Squeeze in, squeeze in, squeeze in. If it doesn't lift, don't be concerned. I'll even go here, so I can't lift, but I'm still doing it, right? 3, 2, and 1. Release. Fantastic. Stay in the pose. Don't go out. We've got one more thing to do. This is the new thing that I'm really excited to show you. So get your game face on. Here we go. Push down, knee down, ankle down. Nice, huh? Yep. Find that push. Hold. Hold a little more. Now, part 2 of 3, you are going to press your hands down into the mat and try to lift the knee up off the mat. Here's part 3 of 3. Try to slowly straighten your leg and bring it out in front of you. And if you've got to slide it across the floor, that's fine too. And release the foot back down to the ground. You can report back on how that went. Now we have to get back out of it, right? So take a breath in. And then when you're ready, lift the foot up. Try and lift. Try and bend into the knee as you look. External rotation. Bend, 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 bend. Bring it back to the ground and release. How'd it go? Fantastic. Everybody loved it. Best thing you've ever done, right? Perfect. I'm sure. I know it. I know it was. Now we're going to transition onto the opposite side because what we're working with today, I want you warmed up for a peak pose, which is going to require hips. Push your right knee down to the ground with your hand. Now we widen, open the opposite knee. So we're getting into like our bear squat without letting the right knee lift. Look at your right knee. Is it lifting? Don't let it lift. Tell it can't lift. Keep rotating. Open the leg. Open it more. Open it more. Are you making a face? I can't see because you're a little bit too far away, but I'm guessing you're not. A little bit more. 3, 2, and 1. Great. Now transition to the opposite side. We've got 99 to the back. So your left shin will be parallel with the back of your mat. Right shin parallel with the side. You might set up here, leaning like you're chilling on the beach, right? That's an option. If you've got the range, you can sit up here and have your right hand to the inside of where that foot is. Harder version is going to be both hands forward. You pick. Remember, it's not actually about lifting. It's more about the sensation. So first, press the knee down, ankle down. Just feel strong in the leg, like you're trying to push the leg through the floor. Hold. Push a little bit more. Push a little bit more. Shift your left hip backwards slightly. Make sure this foot is flexed. 3, 2. Now here's the fun part. 1, get ready. Take a breath in and try to lift the knee up off the ground. What's crazy is I can't do it on this side. So my other side has more range than this side. That's what we're learning. Try and lift. 3, 2, and release. Great work. Push the knee down into the ground. Push the ankle down into the ground. Same thing. We're working with that left leg forward. Feel the glute stretch. Hold here. Push down more. 3, 2, now 1. You're going to push the hands into the ground and try to lift that leg up. Try and lift. Even if it doesn't lift, we don't care. It doesn't matter. Why do we do 3 rounds? Because everything's best in 3s. Again, ritual, release. Knee down to the ground. This is our last one. Prepare. We're going to burn right through this. Push the knee down, ankle down. Hold. Breath in. Breath out. Push down, push down, push down. Harder. 3, 2, yep, fun part 1. Lift the knee. Try to lift the knee and the ankle. If it doesn't lift, don't worry. Now try to straighten the leg. Oh, if you have to drag it across the floor, that's fine. And release. Shake it out. Or coming back in. Here we go. You've got this, team. A reminder, you might be from here. That's fine. We get to pick where we work, right? Ready? Take a breath in. Lift the foot. Okay, lift. Now bend into the knee. Come back into your 90-90 pose. Release the foot down to the ground. Fantastic moves, everyone. That's it. That's basically, we're home free. It's all yoga now. Push your left knee down to the ground. I mean, after this part. All yoga after this. Left knee down to the ground. Open the right knee. Open, open, open. How wide can you get it? Don't let that left knee creep up. Look down. Is it up? Don't let it be. Open more. 3, 2, widen, and fantastic work. 1, move back to the front of your mat. Place your hands down, zip your legs back, and just come right back into downward facing dog. You can shimmy out side to side. Option to take a tabletop as well. If you don't feel down dog, you can shimmy your hips side to side in tabletop too. All right, breath in. And a breath out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of the mat and fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Remember, today we're rolling up. Squeeze. Push the feet out to the side. Squeeze your core in. Bend your knees slightly so you're engaged as you're lifting. 3, 2, and 1. All the way up to standing, hands by your sides. Tadasana. Let's keep moving. Inhale, sweep up. Look up. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Moving on to a Sun B variation. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, plant your hands. Step back to downward facing dog. Reminder, you can always do this from tabletop. You will inhale your right leg up and back. Now, big pull of the left hip back in space. Sink your left heel down. Push into your hands. Lock your fingertips onto the mat as you extend. Take another breath in. And then exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Hold here. Stay where you are for an inhale. And exhale, step through, low lunge. Now, before we come up, I have to add something else on. Wiggle your left foot backwards. Wiggle it back, wiggle it back, wiggle it back, and then bring your knee down to the ground. So we're going to come into an Anjaneyasana lunge, but with a little bit more work. So shift your right hip backwards, push your left hip down and forwards. Option to stay with the hands on the mat, or option to come up hands high. You might even take hand on the knee. Again, what does your ritual look like? And it's okay to choose your preference today. Sometimes it's like, I just want to do what feels good, right? So you might be sinking pretty low. Lift up slightly. Again, once you've lifted, shift the hips back and then push back down. Arms might be strong and long. We hold for 3. Good work, everybody. 2. And 1. Lower the hands down. Curl the back toe under. Now, lift the back knee up, and you might need to just hop it a little bit further forward. Just for balance purposes, peek down, make sure your feet are on railroad tracks, not a tightrope, and then inhale up to crescent pose. Pull left hip back, right hip forward, and then sink down into this bad boy. Now let's bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the low back. Lift up out of crescent slightly. Bend into your back knee.
Great. Now from here, tuck your pelvis. It's like, think the opposite of if you're trying to be really sexy. Tuck the pelvis, try to make your butt disappear. Now that the pelvis is tucked, try to straighten the leg. You're going to notice you won't be able to get nearly as deep, right? But we're going to have way more stretch in the hip flexor rather than the low back. So keep tucking the pelvis. Leg can be slightly bent or slightly straight. Hold. 3, push the left hip down and forwards. 2, 1, come out of it. Reach your hands up. Now, wiggle the spine, make it neutral, and lower down deep into the stretch, crescent pose. So now you might be using both the low back and the hip flexor. That's fine by me. Breath in and out. How long am I going to keep you here? Who knows? One more. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the hands down, frame the foot. Push, option to try to lift the foot first and then step back right into plank or tabletop pose. Knees can come down here. Lower down your belly slow. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, back bend of your choice, and notice, can you feel a difference between your left leg and your right leg? Primarily in the hip flexor. Just be aware. Any sensations? And then exhale, lower back down. Toes curl, lift either the knees if you're doing plank or push up to tabletop. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Right away, inhale your left leg high. Like I said, you have the option to be working from here, left leg high and back. You could be tabletop if you like. Pull your your right hip back really dramatically. Push the hands into the mat, belly button in towards the spine. Lift the foot higher. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, stay, don't move. Exhale, step through, low lunge. Now hop your right foot back. Hop, hop, hop. Get nice and deep. Lower the back knee down, and we're coming to our Anjaneyasana version. So build slow. You could obviously stay with hands on the mat. You might have blocks to make this alleviated and easier. Always welcome. If you don't have blocks like me and you're like, well, no choice, I'm going to come on up. Hands can come high. Hands might be on the knee. First, just passively sink into the pose. So allow yourself to melt down. Great. Then lift up slightly. Now pull left hip back, right hip forward. Find that energy, right? Instead of completely passive, continue to pull as you sink back down to the mat and hold here. Inhale. Exhale. Keep reaching through the hands. Breath in. Breath out. Once more, you got it. Inhale, sink, pull. Exhale, hands come down, frame the foot. Curl the back toe under, lift the back knee up, and you might do 1, 2, I think like 2 hops, tiny ones forward. Now check down on your feet, make sure they're separated. Railroad tracks, not the tightrope. Sink down and inhale, come up, crescent pose. So first, our standard crescent. Just allow yourself to be like, where does my body naturally flow? Our bodies all flow different places, right? Given our preferences, bone structure, all that good stuff. Inhale. Exhale. All right, now lift yourself out slightly. One hand to the belly, one hand to the low back. Back of the hand to the low back. And now bend into your back knee. So we're going to bend and tuck the pelvis under. Really pretty big movement, right? Trying to make it so we're only working in the hip flexor here. Then once the pelvis is tucked, try to straighten the leg and bend down in a crescent. It's like 30 times harder for me because I don't have a lot of hip extension. But ideally, you should feel this in the front of your right hip. A bigger stretch than we did before. Keep holding and driving that right hip forward. 3, 2, tuck the pelvis. And 1, inhale up, reach the hands high. And now come back to your neutral, incorporating both the low back and the hip flexor. Breath in, breath out. Strong and powerful. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, inhale here. And exhale, sweep those hands down. Option to push and try to lift the foot first. Step back, plank, tabletop. You can come down to the ground with me when you're ready. Easy does it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back bend of your choice. Maybe you try something different this time. Be aware of your hip flexors, your legs. Do they feel hopefully a little bit evened out now? And exhale, lower down. Hands come by your sides. Curl those toes under either tabletop or plank. You've got this. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend in the knees. Travel to the top of the mat, your choice, and then fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit back, chair pose, hand side. All right, find your chair. Get lower, not too low. Like if you're down here, come up a little bit. Everyone's like, we're not down there, Madison, don't worry. Shift your weight over into your right leg a little bit and try to slide your left leg back a little, like just a tiny bit. So you're going to just, and then zoom it right back into place. So basically it's a shifting chair. Right leg goes back and then zoom it back into place. Left leg back and zoom it back in. One more time. Right leg back. Zoom forward. Left and chair. Inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, hands by your sides, Tadasana, breath in. And a breath out. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Let's keep going. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to plank pose. And then, easy does it, lower your knees back down to the mat. Come to a seat without using your hands. Try another way. Find a way, team. I believe in you. And extend both legs out in front of you this time. So starting with the legs extended. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to your sides and roll over onto your right hip. So hand comes to the right, just chilling. Now, zip your left leg out, bend in your knee, and find internal rotation. So look down, knee in line with hip, knee in line with ankle. We were just here. I just made you get into it a different way. So now that you're here, keep leaning. Slide this leg back a little more, a little more, a little more. Basically, I'd like you to just test within your body with this right leg forward. How far back can you get that knee? Not going to full splits or anything crazy yet. I'm not teaching full splits today. You can if you really want. Take a breath in. Great. Now you're rolling over to the right, bend into the right knee, and we've got this 90-degree bend on the leg. Lean forward. Hands come to the ground, either in front of the leg or to the side of the leg. There's no right or wrong as long as you're trying these movements. We don't need perfection in the pose itself, mostly because everybody's different, right? So hands down to the ground. Now lean forward. Draw your left knee up to bring you to your right heel. Great. Slide it back. Extend. Let's try that again. Inhale, draw left knee up towards the heel. Back and extend. One more time. Knee comes forward. For this last time, you're welcome to just slide. Sliding is great. Or try to lift the knee up. Extend back. Hover. My butt's going to cramp. And then extend forward. Knee comes back in. Great. Bring yourself up to center. Zip your right leg forward. Lean and left leg forward. Reminder, you might be all the way to the side this whole time. That's fine. We've got legs both extended out in front of us. Great job, guys. You held on to chaos and you did it. Take an inhale. And let's just do a well-deserved forward fold here between sides. Breath in to lengthen and breath out to pull down and in. When you're ready, roll yourself on up. Head is nice and tall. Awesome work, everyone. Okay, now lean over onto your left side. Lounging, weight in the left hip. Bend into your right knee and see how far you can slide it out to the side. Just keep kind of sliding. Be like, okay, my right leg's kind of moving. Maybe you can get it a little bit further. Keep trying to move that leg out. You're leaning onto the hip. And if you're here, don't stress. Everybody's somewhere, right? Keep opening through the hip. 3, 2, and now we get to do this really fun sliding movement. So whether you're here or here, take a breath in. Great work. Exhale. All right, now bend, lean into the side and bend into your left knee. Wiggle it. It might be here, it might be here. Find an area. Nice, I see everybody hanging in. Okay, take a breath in. Hands can come in front, hands could be to the side. Zip that knee in towards the foot. Inhale, extend, reach. How far back can you get? Extend, 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 extend. Exhale, knee in. This is yoga, not mobility, by the way. We can call anything yoga if we want it to. Inhale, extend, reach. Exhale, draw the knee in. Now here's the great one. And you can sit up higher if you want more of a challenge. Take a breath in, lift the knee up. Extend. Try to extend without letting it touch the ground. It's terrible. All right, ready? We're going to bring it back up. Lift. Keep the knee high if you can. Awesome work. Great. Release. Now you are going to just hands come to heart center. Take your time getting there. I don't know how you're going to do it, but try not to use your hands to come to tabletop pose. Hands down, up and back, downward facing dog. This is all going to make sense to you guys in a second. Breath in. And a breath out. All right, inhale, look forward. Travel to the top of the mat and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, chair pose, hands high. Shift your weight over into your left leg, slide your right foot back. Slide it back, slide it back, slide it back until you're in crescent pose, reach up and hold. Remember, if you fall, we laugh. 3, 2, we're going to travel back to chair, maybe with 1 step or 3 steps. Here we go. Inhale. And step, chair pose, stay low. Breath in. Shift your weight over into your right leg. Slide back, slow, little by little, by little, by little, by little, until you're in crescent pose. Inhale. Exhale. Look forward, weight in your right leg, maybe 1 step or maybe 1 big step into chair pose. Inhale, come to standing. Exhale, hands by your side, Tadasana. Breath in. Breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. All right, inhale, sweep up, grab for your wrist and bend over to the left side. 1 big movement. Your next inhale, you'll come back up to center, switch the wrists, and exhale over to the right. Let's do that one more time, tick-tocking. Inhale up to center, switch the wrist, and exhale over to the left. Inhale up to center, switch, exhale over to the right. Inhale, come on up, and release as we fold. Big movement, arms wide, down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog or tabletop. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg high, left hip back. Exhale, take your knee to your nose. Inhale, look forward, step through, low lunge. And exhale, stay. Sink your hip down to the ground. So big stretch first. Push that hip down as much as you can. And then inhale up, crescent pose. Awesome work. I told you there'd be yoga. Exhale, warrior two. Spin. A little familiar flow. Inhale, straighten the leg. Bump your hip back. And as you exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Breath in. And out. All right, bend in the knee. Lift up, warrior two. Exhale, sweep the hands down, frame your foot. Option to move to plank. Maybe try to lift the foot first and come to tabletop is another option. Yes, you better believe we're going down to the ground. Reminder, you can skip these whenever you want. 3. See how I didn't start at 4? 2. That was me being merciful. 1. Inhale, back bend of your choice, however brief. Let your heart shine forward. Exhale, fold. Curl the toes under, lift the knees up, either plank or tabletop with the knees down and back, downward facing dog or tabletop. Right away, inhale, lift your left leg high. Pull your right hip back in space. Exhale, take your knee to your nose. Inhale, stay where you are, you're strong. Exhale, step through, low lunge. Hop that foot back slightly and first sink down into the hip. We're gonna stay for one breath. So first see how low you can go. Then inhale, come on up, crescent pose. Find your balance. Exhale. One more breath in. And then make your way to warrior two. Spin open. Just here for a beat. Continue the flow. Inhale, straighten the leg. Bump the hip back. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Breath in. And out. All right, inhale, lift up, warrior two. Exhale, sweep the hands down, frame the foot. Try to lift the foot first, push up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward one more time. Exhale, lower, slow. 3, shoulders back, 2, and wiggle down, 1. Inhale, back bend of your choice. And then exhale, lower. Now meet me with the fingers out to the side. Tent the palms, so the palms are up off the mat. Roll your shoulders back, and then start to lift yourself up as much as you can. You might want to move side to side. Think about allowing your belly to relax. So the front of your belly is relaxing as the shoulders roll back and lift. Push into the tops of your feet slightly and hold. 3, 2, maybe even open the throat, look up. And 1. Come on down. All right. This is your last push-up. Curl the toes under. Pick your poison. Press up. And then bring the knees down to the ground if you weren't in tabletop already. All right, we're moving to our peak pose. Today has been a bit of a workshop style because I really wanted you to be warmed up so you could try a new variation of what we're doing. So come to a seat, however you like. And then I am going to bring you into 90-90 one more time. So if you still didn't get the hang of it, don't worry. Now's your chance. One more. So you will take your right shin to the front of the mat. Instead of being parallel, your left shin will be up to the side. Sorry. So same setup. Left shin to the side, right shin to the front. Instead of the right shin being parallel, you can bring that foot in slightly. Nice, huh? Gives us a little bit of ease. You should be sitting pretty firm on your right butt cheek. Now, we are moving towards a fan favorite, pigeon pose. However, I think a lot of times pigeon can either be inaccessible or done wrong, which is why we're doing it today. Push your left knee back as far as you can get it. See that little wiggle we did before? Option 1, you're just going to kind of wiggle and wiggle and wiggle. Keep your torso forward. If you're really struggling, bring the foot in more and keep trying to turn your right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. This, if you look, I'm technically in a pigeon pose, but I'm in a pigeon that's a little bit more accessible to my body. So think about pulling your right hip back, left hip forward, and you'll just stay here. This is a great variation of pigeon. You can do this in any class. I've told you this before. If they cue pigeon and you don't want to, you're like, nah, that feels terrible in my body, do this instead. And you might even sit with the knee not even that far back, right? Keep thinking about turning right shoulder back or up. Now, if you'd like to move on to a bit deeper, we're going to bring the hands forward. So lean forward first. What happens is when we do this, so we move it into the hip flexor a bit more. Now curl your back toe under, lift the back knee up and turn the thigh under. With your body lean forward, you might find this to be a bit easier. So you could stay here with your weight in your front hip. Please don't surrender all the way down to the ground yet. I will let you if you really crave it later. Now that you're in this position, depending on where you are, you might start to lift up a little bit and see if you can get deeper into the pose or lifted. If you have limited restriction in the low back, you're going to find this hard. Or if you have limited hip flexor, don't worry. This is hard. This pose is like absolutely crazy. If you're in pigeon with me, come back out and we're all going to meet in this original pose, still on the right side. So bend into your knee again and just come out. We will do the next one for longer, but I want to transition into it one more time just so you can feel it in your body. And the fun thing that we will do for anyone who wants to try it is this one last round. So hands come down to the ground. Option one, make sure the heel is in. Lean forward. Option one is just to slide the knee back as far as you can and then work from here. Yeah, great. Option two today, if you're moving into full pigeon, lean forward. Bring your knee in. Knee in to start, lean forward. Now, just because we can, try to lift that knee up. Lift it up, extend the leg back, internally rotate, and try to come into pigeon. Floating the leg the whole way back. That's so hard. That's ridiculous. Then you might come up into pigeon pose, stay here, or if you're really craving it, everybody, you can fold forward into pigeon. Completely up to you. If you're looking to get the most bang for your buck, I encourage you to stay up while pulling right hip back, left hip forward. But again, what does your body need today? Take 3 more breaths. How slow can you go before we move on to the other side? And then when you're ready, you can push yourself back up if you are down. And we'll come out the same way we came in. If you really loved the way we came in, you might lean forward and try to try to lift the leg up, externally rotate and come back in. You don't have to do that. It's so silly. Okay, now we'll just transition opposite. Same thing. You can just lift the left knee up and swing over so you're facing the back of the mat. Your left shin, instead of being parallel, will be pulled in slightly. Right shin parallel with the outside of the mat-ish. You might lean over to that left side. And same concept as we did before. So we're going to do this 2 times. First time is everybody just wiggle that bad boy back. Kind of wiggle back, see how far you can get, and then start shifting left shoulder back, right shoulder forward. So it's a big twist to the torso at the same time. More of a twist than if you had the hip turned under, and that's great. We could stay here. Take a breath in and out. All right, bring the knee back forward. Even if this is the one you're staying in, I'd like you to try to get it 2 or 3 times, right? Just so it's mind-body connection. Now, option 2, wiggle back, curl the back toe under, lift that knee up, and turn the torso forward. Coming into our pigeon, untuck the toe, staying up. Really focus on pulling left hip back, right hip down and forward. Your spine is going to lengthen, but naturally, you're in a back bend, no matter what they say. You're definitely in a back bend. Hold here for just a moment. And then we'll all come back out. If you were in this, roll over onto the side, wiggle the foot back forward. Why? Just so you have a chance. One more time. Let's move into the full version of the pose. So any of these levels that you're liking to try at any point, go for it. If you like, you can lean your chest forward, hands come on the mat. Try to lift your right knee up off the mat. Then extend the leg back, internally rotate, and bring the foot down on top of the mat. Once you're there, lift up to start. We are here for, let's say, at least 5, 6 breaths. So maybe you start a little bit higher. Surrender as needed. Couple more breaths. All right, moving out of round 2. When you feel ready, a reminder that if you tried the leg lift on the way in, give it give it a shot and try it on the way out. It's pretty impossible. And then we'll all come up back to a seat. Take your time getting there. Moving from here into our sort of 90-90, and then let's come into a bear sit. So you're just going to roll back, hands come behind you, and this time your hips have done enough work today. Roll these side to side. Great job, everybody. New hips. And then bring the feet to the front of the mat if they aren't already. Let's lower down to the back. You can either, option 1, just lay down. If you've had enough, go for it, lay down. Option 2, maybe extend the feet forward, hands forward, and try to very slowly extend your way down, straightening the legs. If you can, let the back roll down, the head and shoulders hit, and then try letting the feet hit down to the ground. Oh, once you get there, we'll move into a twist. So you can either take both knees in or one knee in. Maybe even you want legs crisscross today if that feels good. Twist over to the left side to start. Gaze can go to the right if it feels okay on your neck. Option always to take a block under this knee if you'd like a little bit of support. Your yoga practice, this habit that you have, is one of many habits that carry you through your day. There's brushing your teeth, a very obvious habit. But as we cool down for class, I would like you to reflect on what other habits or rituals that you have that make you feel really wonderful. And if you're drawing a blank, it could be something like cooking, baking, drawing. What ritual do you have in your life that really makes you feel good? Maybe you can touch on a few. When you're ready, transition over to the opposite side. Take time to even out in the middle. And then once you're on the second side, see where you can relax and surrender. So now that you've thought of a few rituals, I'd like to recognize the power behind them. Because the world is a wild and crazy place right now, particularly for those of you in Minnesota. And the thing that grounds us, binds us, gives us energy is ritual. So before we move into Shavasana, is there a ritual in your life that you need more of to care for yourself? Because as we discussed last class, we can't show up for anyone else until we share love, share energy, share patience with ourselves. When you're ready, come back to center. Make your way into a happy baby. And And then one last opportunity after Happy Baby, if there's any other form of ritual you need before Shavasana, if there's a pose you always do. I know some people that crack their fingers, crack their toes. Feel free to take any movement over about the next minute. And because you are at home, a reminder that you can give yourself all the comfort and care you need in Shavasana. So if you want a pillow, if you want a blanket, about 30 more seconds. And then make your way into Shavasana. Posture where we integrate all of our work. Let your eyes shut down. Allow your body to fully surrender. And I say fully because make sure that space between your eyebrows is relaxed, your jaw, your fingers, and your toes. Inhale. Exhale, Shavasana. If you would like to stay in Shavasana, please just stay here. But if you are ready to move out of your practice, you can begin with small movements. Reawaken your body gently like an old friend. And then you can gradually allow those movements to get larger. Maybe rock your head side to side. Option to reach the hands above the head, point the toes, and take a big stretch. Second time waking up today. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your favorite side by bringing one knee towards the chest and the other. Taking a brief pause in fetal pose to recognize this transition, right? Out of your ritual, back into your day. And then once you're there, sit tall. Either bring two hands over the heart or two palms together at heart center. Let your spine grow nice and long as you inhale. As you exhale, bow your chin to seal your practice. Maybe even put a little smile on your face. You can lift your head back up. Thank you all. Fantastic work. I hope you have a week filled of ritual. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to hang out and chat. Send me an email. I'll be sending out a few emails this week, so keep an eye out for those in your inbox as well. But I'm just sending you all a big hug. Lots of love. We'll see you next Sunday.